Hey guys, I'm Mandippal. Welcome to another episode of the series here. We're talking today with Alysha Brilla. Welcome, Alysha.
Thanks, Mandippal.
How are you doing?
I'm so good now that I'm sitting here talking to you.
Yes, it's been a long time since I've seen you in person.
Yeah, some might say 1.5 years.
1.5 years. So, can you tell us, tell people that are watching, like, about your journey, like where you started, how you got to where you are now?
Okay, well, it all started on November 3rd, 1988. It was a cold evening, and you've known me since high school.
Since high school, yeah.
So you've actually kind of witnessed a majority of my entire public interfacing career, which is
Yeah,
nuts.
it's been a long time. My sister used to teach you in high school. Yeah, that's a long time.
Cameron Heights.
Yeah, CHCI.
Yeah.
Golden Gales.
Golden Gales, yeah. Yeah, but it's been, back then it was all open mics.
Yep.
And jams, different incarnations of bands, just all of the things we used to do.
Yep.
And still do. And it's been a big loop-de-loop of some industry involvement and now a healthy place where I'm very much kind of independent, but also still actively doing lots of stuff.
That's amazing. So you're happy as an independent artist now?
Yeah, I'm so much happier than I was when I was like not independent.
Are you only producing yourself or are you producing other people as well for production wise? I've always been curious about that.
Yeah, like I have produced for other people in different projects in a myriad of little ways, but at the present moment, I'm just working on my own music. But I have worked with other people and I love it because I've worked with a number of incredible producers over the years. Most of them have been men, like when I was on the label or in my youth. And I love being able to work with female artists and just like strip the pretense right away and just, be real and encourage them. And that's something as an older sister in the biz, which I know like Sandy kind of offered when I was 15, 16.
My sister,
Mandippal's sister. That's sort of what I want to be now too.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So, like, the goal behind this is for people that look like us, like the younger generation coming up, to like see that there's some success to be had if you look like us in the industry. Can you kind of talk about the struggles you went through and like how you got out of that and like what kind of success you've had?
For sure. I think that like almost everything in the Western world, there is a more difficult path kind of cut out for BIPOC folks, for queer folks, for any kind of marginalized folks. And I know when we were making music back in the day, and still, like you just said, there's a venue where you are still the only brown person or person of color even playing there. I do feel like a bit of an outlier in the mainstream industry, I'll say. Because most of my friends now are like us, I am kind of surrounded a lot by really cool independent artists. But definitely when I was signed to a label, I was the only person of South Asian background that I even knew of in North America who was making music like on a label,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it is kind of nuts. Yeah. And therefore, you kind of have to assert your identity on your own terms.
Yeah.
There's no reference for it.
So how have you done that? Like asserting your identity, like, because people know you. Like you see Alysha Brilla, you kind of know what she's about, what she stands for. But like, how did you get to that point where like
people know me?
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of just being, what's the word when you persevere? Persevere through a lot of stuff. And a lot of it, some people might know about it, some people might not, but it has been a lot of, obviously rejection, this. Like, I feel like our career is like half playing music, half rejection, basically, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're professional rejects, basically. Not to be mean, but it's true.
It's true. No, I get what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, until, of course, you have people who start to, like, yay, applaud your path, right, in a way. But then I'm still the same reject inside, even if I have gained some acceptance. I'll never not feel like a big high school loser because that's what
we were.
We were,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But but on that note, the high school losers are always the coolest people.
100%.
So
100%.
if you're watching and you are
a high school loser
like us, a high school loser like we were, you'll know that there's a reason that you don't fit in, and it's because you're meant to stand out. Often you're
Yep.
meant to lead in a different way, and that's sort of been a big part of what I've done as well.
That's awesome. So, kind of along the same lines, like you're in the community, you stand for a lot of things. Like you always speaking about injustices, that kind of stuff. How do you stay creative while still like thinking about all this stuff happening? Like, how do you stay creative with that?
I think it's because for me they're very much the same thing.
Okay.
If you listen to my music, you'll notice I don't really sing a lot about like romantic love.
Yep.
And I don't really sing a lot about my cat. And so you don't really
Why is
hear,
that?
I know why. He's probably at home scratching his face, wondering why. So you don't really hear a lot about like those aspects. But what you do hear in my music is 90% of what's going on in my brain all day, which is about, treating the earth better, about how we interact with each other, total system takeover.
Wow.
All of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm really interested in us shifting the world to a better place, and I think music becomes a forum to sing about it in a palatable way.
Is there anything that you're focusing on right now?
Right now, I'm sort of I'm trying to work on this album,
Yep.
which speaks a lot to healing, because I think when we talk a lot about all the amazing movements that we're trying to make the world a better place with, oftentimes we are moving so quickly we don't get to look and heal, like for all the BIPOC folks out there, all the queer folks, anyone who is actively especially working in social or environmental justice, we can get burnout.
Yeah.
As an artist, as a
Oh, yeah,
artist
for
of
sure.
color, you can get burnt out, especially in this industry. So this album is focused on healing. So I'm really interested in how we can simultaneously be gentle with ourselves and do the work that we're doing.
That's awesome. When can people expect to like hear something from it?
Well, I'm hoping it'll be around this birthday.
Yeah.
So if you were paying attention earlier, you noticed I was born on November 3rd, 1988. So November 3rd, 2021, I'm going to be 33, and 333, all kinds of cool numbers. So I'm hoping around that time I'll be able to have a new album out, and I'm really excited. I know you know all about putting things into the world.
So with the like we were talking before, the younger generation coming up, what kind of advice would you have for them now? Like just to, I know we talked about the struggles before, but like if let's say they just want to play a show or like get their foot in the door, what's the first thing they need to do?
The first thing they need to do is know how powerful they are.
Yeah.
As a creator, as a human being, and as someone who's going out on a limb to express themselves. Because that already, every time I meet an artist, doesn't matter whether they've played 100 shows to 100,000 people or 0 shows, the fact that you're even willing to write something down that was in your heart, to me, is like such a radical act.
Yeah.
So anyone who's interested in any of that, I would just, first of all, say, wow, like good for you for putting your humanity on display.
Say it to the camera.
Thank you for putting your humanity on display in a world that tries to kind of sterilize us in a huge way. And I think it's really important that artists do it and that we support artists. Like if you're watching, government and people, general human beings, we all need art in our lives, whether we're doing it professionally or not. And so the folks who go out on a limb, who spend 15, 17 years, however long it is, hustling in this 20 years, right? Just to support, because, we're out here just really being vulnerable. I think that's what it truly comes down to. It's a lot of vulnerability.
Yeah. We talked about it with Alex last time we did this, and we talked about like anybody needs to go to us for advice and stuff like that. Are you accessible that way? Can people reach out to you if they need to chat about advice, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, people sometimes do reach out to me on Instagram or on my email if you go to my website. And typically I'm happy, especially for other artists I know who will face additional challenges, whether it's because they're, a woman or femme presenting or a number of reasons. And then I did, for the past year, I've had a portal on my website where I've done specific workshops and interfacing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, to encourage artists, especially female, non-binary, BIPOC artists, But yeah, shoot me a message on Instagram, shoot me a message on my email, and I will respond. It is me who answers the emails, so, or my cat.
Your cat respond to emails.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this. I think we kind of hit everything that I was hoping to hit today. If anybody out there, like, this is Alysha is accessible, like she said. She's a great person to talk to. I've known her for a long time. Like, I really appreciate you doing this. Like, it's awesome that you took your time to do this.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for doing this series and you.
I'm hoping it does something. But you have a show coming up, right?
Yes.
August 22nd?
August 22nd, Summer Folk Festival. Yes, so stoked. Can't wait. And it'll be the first time in over a year I played.
Wow, that's awesome.
You know?
Yeah.
My cat's like, excuse me, I hear you every day. But no, to a real audience, it'll be the first time. So I'm really excited.
That's awesome. Check that out, guys. Alysha, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you. That's great.